channel, we have a special edition commemorating the 38th anniversary of the Korean War. In this segment, you will see a press conference with previous President Truman, footage from the battle scene, and even an interview with MacArthur. Let's take a look at what Truman's policies were regarding Korea.
My fellow Americans, as one of the strongest democratic nations, I feel that it is our duty to prevent communism from spreading. Therefore, I am strongly advocating a policy of containment so that other nations are not threatened by totalitarian regimes. However, many nations, including the U.S., are still suffering from the impacts of World War II, and I do not feel that we are prepared to enter into another world war. But the South Koreans need our help now, so I am advising that we act as a police power so that South Koreans are not threatened by the North Korean communism. We need to be a role model to the rest of the world, and we need to act now. Thank you, and may God bless.
Now, we have a model to display Truman putting his policies into action. On June 25, 1950, North Korean troops started their invasion on South Korea. They easily pushed the South Koreans and American forces to the tip of the South Korean peninsula. The UN forces, under the leadership of General MacArthur, launched a counterattack on the North Koreans in Incheon and almost pushed them into China. In their armistice, the two nations agreed to go back to their original boundaries at the 38th parallel. Now, here's some live footage from the battlefield in Korea. Wow, after that courageous fighting, General MacArthur will always be viewed as a hero. Even though he resigned, Americans welcomed him home because they were thankful for his leadership.
Hi, I'm here with General MacArthur. We are celebrating his return home from Korea after years of courageous leadership and relentless fighting. Thank you for being with us here, Mr. MacArthur. It's a real honor. So, do you regret your resignation as U.S. General?
No, not at all. I firmly believe we should have completely finished our job by ending communism in both China and Korea.
But Americans still view you as a hero no matter what the outcome.
Well, yes. When we pushed the North Koreans toward China, U.S. morale dramatically increased. However, President Truman did not listen to the voices of the United States citizens, and he pulled the troops out too quickly. I believe there is no substitute for victory, and so does the rest of the United States.
Many Americans feel that Truman was too soft on communism. How do you think Eisenhower will handle the situation?
I hope that Eisenhower will be more determined than Truman and realize that it is up to us to end communism.
Thank you for your time, Mr. MacArthur. We look forward to hearing about your future plans.
Well, it looks like General MacArthur was right about Eisenhower. After 3 years, Eisenhower finally had enough courage to go to Korea and bring our troops home.
We are here today to set aside our differences with North Korea so that we can send our soldiers home to safety after years of merciless fighting. This armistice signifies that President Truman's policy of containment was successful. We have agreed to return to the previous boundaries set by the 38th parallel. In addition, there will be a peaceful exchange of prisoners captured during the war. We hope that with our influence, South Korea will be able to stand up to any future communist attacks.
With peace finally established, Americans were overjoyed to have their loved ones home. Even today, soldiers recall the terrors they faced while on the battlefield. We were fortunate enough to interview Private Carl Formhals. Here's what he experienced as a soldier.
After graduating from high school, I decided to enlist in the U.S. Army on June 20th, 1948. I was then sent to Fort Knox in Kentucky for basic training, which lasted 16 weeks. Next, I was sent to William Beaumont Army Medical Center in El Paso, Texas, where I studied numerous medical procedures, including blood chemistry and cross-matching. In June of 1950, I was assigned to the Far East Command and the 24th Infantry Division, which was the first outfit to go into ground combat in Korea. Our troop quickly advanced into North Korea and almost reached China, but then the Chinese entered the war and began pushing us back. At this time, 4 of my friends and I were separated from our unit and were almost captured by the North Koreans. Fortunately, we were able to walk undercover for 6 days and nights and finally met up with our unit again. Within these 6 days, we received only a little rice from the Koreans and I lost 25 pounds. I finished up my duties in Korea after a year and returned to the U.S., where I worked in the firing range at Fort McCoy in Wisconsin. I was awarded numerous medals for my efforts in Korea. Seeing the atrocities in Korea helped me appreciate the freedom and rights we have in America. And I hope all U.S. citizens know how lucky they are to live in a country governed by a democracy.
That was just one account of the hardships the soldiers had to face. Now here's a tribute to all those forgotten in this war. Although many people overlook the Korean War, those who experienced it firsthand will hold it in their hearts forever. Thank you for watching and tune in next week for a special on how to study for the AP History exam.